Thanks for attending our webinar today. Today we have Condoit and FLIR together presenting the webinar Revolutionizing Asset Monitoring with FLIR iXX and Condoit. With that, let's move it to the next slide. A little bit about myself. I'm Rob Milner. I'm a Director of Business Development for FLIR. I've been around here for about 24 years. And I'm really passionate about scaling thermography so that companies can create safer and more profitable work environments.
Hi, I'm Peyton Sherwood. I'm Condoit's Chief Technology Officer, building the software that we'll be discussing today. My background is in running startup ventures, everything from insurance technology to Venmo.
Hey everybody, I'm Joseph Jenkins. I'm VP of Revenue at Condoit. I've been in a lot of startups as well, like Peyton, and have found a new passion for the thermography and electrical world. So thrilled to show you guys what we've built today.
So a little bit about our agenda today. First of all, we're going to take you through a few slides about the FLIR iXX that we just launched a couple of weeks ago. We're going to show you how it really revolutionizes thermography. Then Peyton is going to take you through a little bit of a Condoit app demo with the iXX itself. And then we'll have a success story that we were able to get going before the launch of the product with a company called Blackmon Power and T5 data centers. And finally, we'll wrap it up and take some questions and answers. But before we begin, let's have a little bit of a chat. If you could answer in the chat space, just where are you joining us from and how many infrared scans do you perform per year, just on average? All right. Thank you for those that responded. Condoit is able to handle all sorts of different sizes of users, but I see a number in the hundreds. That's fantastic. Let's move on. So let's begin by introducing the FLIR iXX series. This system is truly revolutionary. It provides app-driven thermal intelligence. So this is the first ever app-enabled thermal camera available, and it is amazing. Let's move to the next slide. Essentially, what this product is a combination between a regular thermal camera and a smartphone to put it all together. Now, the thermal camera itself is really good. It's available at up to a 640 by 480 native resolution on the thermal camera, along with an 8 megapixel visual system. But what is really special about it is our ACE operating system and how this operating system allows companies like Condoit, like FLIR, and even third parties like maybe Microsoft Teams or Meta, even private companies, to create apps to solve the particular problems that they have, the particular pains that are causing issues with their own thermography programs. And with that, let's go. The essential value of this system is to simplify and speed workflow, to support inexperienced users, and to solve documentation, communication, and decision pains to do more with less. And so with that, I want everyone to recognize that this is the new beginning. This is the future starts now. With the iXX, new technicians are empowered, maintenance programs get smarter, and expertise is elevated. So before we get going with Condoit, if you'd like more information about the iXX, I would invite you to please view a recording of the launch webinar that we did. That link is on the left. If you'd like to go directly to information about the camera itself, That link is in the middle. And if you're interested in potentially becoming an ACE platform developer, that link is on the right.
Highly recommend. These guys are great to work with. It's been a fantastic project. Real quick, we have a poll before we dive in too deep with Condoit. We want to know how much time it takes your team on average to generate an IR inspection report today. And it doesn't have to be exact. Don't pull out your calculators and do an actual average, but give us a ballpark of how long it's taking your team to generate an IR inspection report. Looks like we may have had a glitch in the poll there, but all the same, well, we've had a lot of research on this. So on the Condoit and FLIR side combined, we've talked to several hundred contractors as it relates to this question. Contractors, electrical testing companies, facilities alike. And we have found that on average, it's taking half of the total time of the scan itself. So usually it's several hours, to say the least. Now, as far as Condoit and the FLIR partnership goes, we have known FLIR for a while. Ian, our CEO, and Alila, Senior Business Development Manager at FLIR, have talked about things like this for quite a while. And IR is, as everyone knows, central to electrical inspections. And the data that lives in Condoit is an electrical system of record that includes IR. And so there was a natural fit whenever we started talking to FLIR about the new iXX early this year. And as we learned about their marketplace initiative, we were thrilled and jumped at the opportunity to collaborate with them on launching the most powerful and efficient thermography system on the planet. Now, as far as what Condoit is, certainly we help with thermography, but there's a lot of things we do. Our mission is to create a safer and more reliable electrical infrastructure worldwide. And the primary customers we serve today are electrical contractors, electrical testing companies, engineering firms, and facilities or facility managers as well. Property management fits in there at times as well. Use cases, obviously IR is mentioned, and we're going to show you that demo here in a few seconds with Peyton. We help with arc flash data collection as well. That process is much faster digitized, and engineers and data collectors alike tend to appreciate the efficiency and the tracking that happens with that. Condoit in and of itself is a digital or dynamic single line diagram that combines both asset history, or like the Carfax of electrical equipment, nested within the context of a single line diagram, and showing connections and all the data that is needed for understanding what a building actually looks like when you may not have accurate as-builts. Likewise, we help with preventative maintenance, NFPA 70B tracking, and then asset tracking and maintenance history as well. So our QR codes are something that are very popular that folks use to access data instantly when they're on site, to again see the previous year's IR scan and to see what's upstream and downstream from a particular piece of equipment. As far as the IR process goes, you all know this, but there's really 4 simple phases. There's planning and prep. You know what that looks like. The on-site inspection is a lot of work. Obviously, you're taking pictures, you're opening equipment, you're documenting connections, you're putting lots of notes somewhere, and then eventually you have to consolidate all of that data to create a report. And everyone we have talked to said that they would rather do really terrible things at work, rather do a lot of different things than generate these reports. People don't tend to love paperwork in this industry, and having this process has basically taken out that 50% of cost and speed to allow them to not have to go into Microsoft Word and Excel and manually transfer things through an SD card. So yeah, there were no shortage of complaints about this process manually, and so we've collaborated with FLIR to build a new process that takes that wasted inefficiency of manual documentation and spreadsheet transferring and SD card shuffling, matching pictures, and we've now taken that and turned that part of that process, the matching notes with equipment. Some of that has been turned into this phase where you're capturing that data on site. You'll see that in the demo momentarily. And then the rest of that is captured margin for you as the person conducting or receiving the infrared scan. Last but not least, we have historical IR scans and notes for the next audit. So FLIR Thermal Studio is a great tool for that. Combined with Condoit, it can show you the year-over-year trends and help you understand the safety risks to a system over time. With that, we'll kick it over to you, Peyton, to show them how it works.
Great, thanks, Joseph. As we get this demo started, this is what you all probably came here to see. Demonstration of how Condoit works with FLIR cameras today. There's 3 steps really to the process. The first is to capture the equipment that you want to document into the Condoit database. And the way you do this is just take pictures of that equipment. And we'll allow you to put various details of that equipment directly into the database. We actually have artificial intelligence running on those photographs to pull details like the name from the nameplate or other attributes of the equipment and suggest that to you. You'll also mark what is the upstream equipment, immediately upstream from this equipment, so that an SLD can be automatically created while you're walking through and entering equipment into the database. The second step, of course, is that you'll actually perform the IR inspection itself. You'll take those IR images with your FLIR camera, whether it's the iXX or otherwise, and we'll support FLIR features like MSX that allows you to see equipment more clearly. Then you can actually mark the temperature benchmarks directly in the software on your device. We'll automatically calculate the NETA standard and the urgency for you based on the NETA table. We've got common issues just a couple of taps away so that you don't have to spend time typing. And once you do that, you've collected all of the information for that piece of equipment. When you go through and do that, the final step is to generate the report. And again, this is just a couple of minutes at most. Our customers are able to do this on site without leaving the facility. And these reports are very professionally produced. The top section is an executive action summary that demonstrates, what do you need to do right away. And then following that is the section that has detailed notes on each of the pieces of equipment that you've captured. You can share these reports via PDF directly with your customer through email or message. You can also invite your customer to log directly into the Condoit portal. And again, we have customers that are saving a huge amount of time and completing their scans in twice as fast as they were able to before this FLIR and Condoit integration.
Excellent, Peyton, thank you. I'm sure there's a lot of questions, and there typically are from folks after we show that. So feel free to bring those up in the Q&A here momentarily. As far as the rest of the platform of what Condoit does, again, we won't go into depth, but we'll tease. This is an example of what you would see if you were to scan a QR code that was left behind for a piece of equipment. In this particular case, it's a panel in this warehouse, and you can see where it fits in the single line, the other pieces of equipment that are related to it, and in this case also what the site plan looks like. Many reports that can be generated, and as we mentioned before, we can indicate we can leverage NFPA 70E requirements for data collection for Arc Flash, as well as 70B, and all the pieces of equipment that are needed have been standardized. So it's easy for your team to put in this data as they're doing their jobs. Now for the final poll, we're curious what other pain points everyone on this call faces in relation to creating quality IR reports. So we have a multiple choice here. Hopefully this works for everyone this time. Go ahead and tell us, what is the biggest challenge for you guys in creating quality IR reports? Looks like we're having a glitch there again, unfortunately. Again, we typically see it's a combination of these three. It depends often on your incumbent system and what you're dealing with as it relates to your facility or properties that you service.
All right. Well, let's tell you a little bit about a trial that we did before launch of the iXX and the Condoit app. So we were on site with a company out of South Carolina called Blackmon Power, fantastic electrical services organization, serving some of the biggest companies in the US. They tried out the iXX with the Condoit app. They were able to reduce their reporting time that was previously taking about 8 to 12 hours per report, and reduce that essentially to zero. At the same time, they were able to reduce the amount of time from the end of the scan to the receipt of the final report in their customers' hands from a few days to just a couple of hours or even less. Thirdly, they were able to completely eliminate data loss and transcription errors, which just made them more confident in their results, resulted in less callbacks, having to repeat the scans, so that went right to their bottom line. And finally, I think you got a taste from Peyton how the report quality was really improved through automated incorporation of single line diagrams and things like that. So all the way around, big winner for them. And hey, let's hear from Tyler Grant at Blackmon Power himself.
Blackmon Power is a third-party testing company. We've been in business for 6 years, and under the Blackmon Power name, going on 4 years. We do any and all electrical maintenance, from IR to breaker testing to battery testing, transformer testing, any and everything as far as electrical maintenance goes. Using the FLIR and Condoit apps together, or camera and app together. Like I said, I've been doing this for 10, 15 years, and that was the easiest process by far. It takes the reporting out of the office's hands, puts it in the field. Once the data is gathered in the field and pictures are gathered, the report can be spun up within 5 minutes. My role as a thermographer using I-65 and the Condoit app combined, the on-site hasn't changed that much, as I've stated. What has changed is on if a problem is found, I'm taking that info and putting that data in as I take the photo. I'm not jotting a couple notes down and coming back in the service vehicle a few hours later. As I find that problem, I'm updating everything then, capture it, and moving on to the next component, which is a game changer in the field. Using the Condoit app gives us a online customer portal. So we're not just sending a PDF report to that customer. The customer has an online portal where annually they can track all their hour reports in one place on an online portal that they're not managing, but we can manage for our customers. The great thing about Condoit and I-65 paired together is that when the technician is done, the project is done. So there's no extra cost to that project. There's no back-end work on office staff. And also too, you can bill the customer quicker. Invoicing can happen the same day. Whereas if we do it in the office, we could hold up invoicing for 2 to 3 weeks, getting that to the customer.
Fantastic. I hope everyone enjoyed that. And with that, we're going to wrap it up and go to Q&A. I would encourage everyone who has the least bit of interest in this type of combined solution to please see the link on the right-hand side here and request a demonstration from Condoit. There's even a little bit of a bonus in it for you if you do it within the next hour. Is that not correct, Joseph?
We do, yeah. We've got a team of folks ready to obviously talk to y'all and show you how this thing works, custom to your use case. It's different for facilities than it is for a property management company, engineering firm, testing company, electrical contractor. And we have pricing to suit each of those use cases as well. So feel free to reach out to us. We don't have to have the meeting today, but reaching out to us as a part of this webinar lets us track the impact, obviously. And any meetings that result, we would be happy to take care of you with a great deal. And also some free resources to help you get started and test the system yourself. If you can't scan the QR code and you happen to be on your device, by the way, we'll also send out a link so that you can access that information if needed shortly after this. Now, as far as questions go, first question came in, always the first one, what is pricing? As I mentioned, it varies by use case. So for a facility that has a single location, it's going to be much different than an electrical contractor who's servicing hundreds of facilities. And so I can tell you it's wildly affordable relative to the problem we're solving. So it is much less than the labor cost you're spending today on and the headache, as I mentioned, some of the hinted at expletives that some of our research told us about that process. It eliminates that headache for your team and also increases the speed. So ideally, you're able to differentiate with a better offering than your competitors, and provide service and results faster, but also at a better margin as well. So far affordable relative to what you're spending in that regard.
And I think there was another.
Yeah, I'm seeing two questions about Conduit I can answer here. One was, how do the single line diagrams work and how are they maintained? You're going to maintain that system information directly in Conduit. So we offer both mobile apps that work on iOS and Android, as well as a web-based app that you can use on your laptop, on your desktop computer. And that single line diagram uses all of the sort of industry standard symbology and nomenclature, and that's viewable directly in the app. Or again, you can export PDF copies, and for folks like your engineers, it's also importable into AutoCAD. And then another question that came through, are the reports customizable? Yes, there are customizable pieces of the report. In particular, we allow you to upload your own logo so that your logo and your branding appears on the report. We allow you to upgrade a very beautiful hero image on the first page, which takes up most of the first page. And so that creates a very professional, very polished looking report for your facility customers.
Another question I saw here was pricing specific to the iXX itself. Rob, do you want to cover that one?
Sure. Yeah, so the iXX or the i65 and i64, they retail for approximately $8,000 US, and the i34 and i35 retail for approximately $5,000 US each. And more information can be had if you aren't able to read the QR code. Go to flir.com/iXX, and that should take you right to the family page there.
There was another question about pricing for Conduit being a subscription versus a one-time cost. It is a subscription fee. And again, we can walk through the different plans that exist depending on your use case, should you decide to set up a meeting with us. There was another question that said, does Conduit work standalone or only integrated with the web app? Peyton, why don't you take that one?
Yeah, happy to take that one. So again, we support Conduit running on your iOS device, like your iPhone, your iPad, your Android devices, both tablets and phones, and the web-based version of Conduit as well. And you can use any of those in any combination. So what's great about Conduit is that all of the data is cloud synced. So as you're entering it, it's all syncing up to the cloud. And that means you can have multiple people on site, each doing thermography, each cataloging a piece of the system, and it's all going to sync together. They're all going to see a single record of the system. We also see customers saving money when a project manager back at the office can check in and make sure that the job is completely done, that all of the information that needs to be collected is collected, so that before those technicians leave the site, they can check in, the project manager can see the live data that they've captured and prevent those truck re-rolls if we forgot to take pictures of the parking lot or we forgot to capture this transformer on the corner of the building.
And to add to that, it is an app in and of itself, so you could use it independent of iXX or a FLIR device for keeping and maintaining those electrical pieces of equipment and the single line diagram as a whole. Now it is compatible with additional models of FLIR devices as well. And again, we can get you more information on that. We highly recommend the iXX because the phone lives on the device and there's a lot of advantages to that. Otherwise, you can stream to your mobile device while in the field and still perform the same functionality.
Yeah, I think it's important to note that users of the FLIR T-Series products with Wi-Fi connectivity, the eXX series with Wi-Fi connectivity, they're still very much able to use the Conduit app as well, if that's of interest.
Great comment. Can Conduit work with non-electrical applications such as bearings, enclosures, etc.? Peyton, you want to take that one?
Sure. Sorry, what was the question? Oh, bearings, enclosures. Yeah. So Conduit focuses mainly on electrical infrastructure, so electrical distribution. We're looking at transformers, switchboards. We do have the capability to support generic loads and generic motors. and then we'll catalog the pieces of equipment within as well. So if your motor control center has breakers within it, has VFDs within it, motor starters within it, we'll be able to catalog those individual pieces of equipment as well.
Excellent.
Next question is, how do we go about ordering the iXX? Yeah, if you're there's many different ways to order the iXX around the globe. So yes, if you're interested in this product, please visit your favorite FLIR retailer, local retailer. Is highly encouraged wherever you might be around the world. If you would like to order on our website, that is available via the previous link I provided, flir.com/IXX, and it'll take you through a place where you can buy directly on the website. Yeah, so there's a lot of different ways that you can order. There's no shortage, and if we run it, we'll make more.
Rob, there was another question about the advantages of iXX and wide-angle camera options, things of that nature. Do you want to speak more to the specs on that and why iXX is different?
Sure. Yeah, actually, this is a very interesting question. I'm at the SMRP show this week, and we're really talking to a lot of people. This product is designed to be extremely simple. So while it's a 320 by 240 thermal camera or 640 by 480 thermal camera, it is a fixed focus lens, which means that you don't have to worry about the getting a focused image. Now that is a negative to some, but it's a positive to others. And if you're interested in simplicity of usage, it's extremely powerful in that case. What other? So one thing that a lot of people don't realize is while it's presented in a portrait format, you can actually turn that camera sideways. So if you prefer to get your image in a portrait aspect ratio, you can do that. Turn it sideways, get your images in a landscape aspect ratio, and it will go into the software in its correct orientation. That's part of the beauty of this product. Yeah, and the specs there, again, if you want to get all the specs, best to go to the website. But just off the top of my head, I believe the field of view is 33 degrees by 57 degrees. And like I said, that can be rotated either portrait or landscape format. Does it have wide angle lens options? No, it's a fixed lens. So what it comes with is what it has, designed for simplicity.
Great, thanks, Rob. I'm seeing another question about how Condoit works offline or in the field if you don't have connectivity. Yes, Condoit works perfectly well offline. It will store all the information that you've captured directly on your device, whether it's the iXX or your mobile device. And then once you establish connectivity, it will sync back up with the cloud at that point. I should mention that the iXX models available today support Wi-Fi. So you can connect to a Wi-Fi network, whether that's tethering off of your phone or if the facility has Wi-Fi, you can connect to that Wi-Fi network and have live cloud sync. But if you don't have connectivity, it'll store on your device and then sync once you do establish connectivity to the internet.
There was another question about requiring, do you have to have Thermal Studio in order to analyze the data from Condoit? The answer is no. In order to do, or go ahead, Rob, you can speak to Thermal Studio. And
yeah.
I'll handle
it doesn't preclude it, but yeah, you don't need Thermal Studio in order to use Condoit. Absolutely not. It's a standalone system.
However, having both does assist in the analysis. So Condoit's data will exist, Thermal Studio's data will exist, and having both is an incredibly powerful tool. Another question was, are you able to import third-party JPEG images from the ThermoConvert software into Condoit to generate reports?
Yeah, so happy to answer that. We do support other image types. However, if it's not the FLIR radiometric JPEG format, then it'll just import as an image. So it won't support that extra thermography data that FLIR embeds in their own file format. So you can embed FLIR images if you take them separately. We highly recommend that you connect it live to Condoit because that takes a ton of work out the workflow back at the office. But if that doesn't work out for you, yes, you can import both independent JPEGs, which again are imported as strictly images, or you can import FLIR's own image file format with the radiographic information in it, and we will support pulling the temperature information off of those.
I know we're at time.
Yeah, we're at time.
Okay, we can maybe answer these or follow up later on about integrating with CMSs and how to buy Condoit and FLIR in one go. So we'll answer those with the individuals who chatted them to us. We'll reach out to you and we can answer those directly for you. All the same, thank you everyone for your time. Thanks for joining us and for your interest and your questions. Very excited to work with anyone who's interested in the future. And Rob, thank you for hosting us. Really appreciate the partnership.
Fantastic. Thanks, guys.
Thanks everyone for coming.